you want, I'll wait till he comes in then? Yeah, do you want me to wait till he comes in then?
Yeah.
Just a minute.
Well, he was just gonna take a minute.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Plus, I had to get my
It's
powder, it's out powder, mix it up. Used to be, I always had time to get set up while Tony was talking.
Did you go through this whole thing? The,
Yeah, why don't we?
10 Bravo.
So I will call this meeting to order. Oh, sorry, I thought, you asked me if I went, okay.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Ready? Call this meeting to order. And please call if the clerk will call the roll.
Board Member San Antonio,
Present.
Board Member Schaefer,
Here.
Board Member O'Hara is not here at the moment. I'll note when he shows up. Vice President Ehlers
Here.
and and President Lyons is absent. So the record will show that members are present with the exception of Board Member O'Hara and President Lyons.
Okay. And with that, do we usually do the Pledge of Allegiance for this? Okay. Join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready? Begin.
Pledge allegiance to the flag
I didn't even realize that I don't lead the water board normally, so.
And then, if you don't mind, I did forget one little thing. Sandagito Water District board members receive an independent stipend of $100 for convening water district meetings pursuant to Sandagito Water District Resolution number 89-07.
Okay. We do not have any special presentations or proclamations tonight, and do we have any oral comments from the public?
No, we do not.
We do not, okay. We do not have a report from closed session because we did not hold one. And are there any changes to the agenda?
No changes to the posted agenda, and no items from the consent calendar have been pulled by members of the public.
Okay. And does anyone wish to pull any consent calendar items? Nope, okay. So can I have a motion on consent?
Motion to approve all consent items.
Okay, very good. I got a motion and a second for the consent item. And the record will reflect
Board member?
Board member, thank you. Board member O'Hara is now here. And we're voting on the consent item. You didn't want to pull anything, correct? Correct. Okay.
And vote. Come on. Jimmy's kind of frozen, so, oh, there we go. Still not doing it. I'm just going to do a verbal, well, this is Board Member San Antonio,
Yes.
Board Member Schaefer,
Yes.
Board Member O'Hara,
Yes.
and Vice President Ehlers,
Yes.
and President Lyons is absent, so the motion does carry.
Okay. And with that, we will move on to our one action item 10A, San Diego Water District Fiscal Year 2024-25 Mid-Year Budget Report. And we will start that with, do we have public speakers tonight, by the way?
No, we do not.
Okay. Just people early for the later meeting. Okay. Wow. And here we thought you were here to see the water board. So, okay. With that, we'll do a staff report. Thank you.
Absolutely. Okay. Thank you, Vice President Ellis and members of the board. This report is a summary of the district revenues and expenditures at the end of the December 2024, the second quarter. Thank you. Or the midpoint of the current fiscal year. First, a look at the district's total revenues at the end of December 2024. About $12 million, or 52.6% of the adopted $22.8 million in revenues, had been collected by the end of the second quarter. Potable water sales were higher due to the increased water consumption by customers. Recycled water sales, which are typically higher in the first half of the year due to the drier summer months and tend to slow down during the wetter, cooler months. Interest and property earnings were higher due to a strong real estate market and investments, and billing fees, which are a small revenue source from customer late charges, were trending slightly over projection. The two large property tax disbursements are received in December and April, so this causes the line item to be under projection at this time of the year. Engineering fees, which are tied to development activity within the district, tend to slow down as we head into the winter months, which causes the under projection. And other revenues, which is a small category consisting of administrative charges, disbursements, refunds, and cost recovery for damaged district infrastructure, were also below projection. Portable meter charges, which are the fixed portion of the customer bills, tend to be within projection. Through the end of the second quarter, the district expended $12.8 million, or 56.8% of its projected operating budget. Benefits were over budget due to the district making its full annual unfunded liability payment in the first quarter of the year. Contracts and services were also over budget due to the numerous purchase orders for continuing technical, maintenance, and construction services. Portable water purchases were above projection due to the $2.6 million early prepayment of the entire calendar year 2025 fixed charges. The district took advantage of a discount offered by the San Diego County Water Authority to prepay its fixed charges, which is what's causing that to be over projection. And recycled water purchases were also higher as the dry weather associated with the summer months continued well into December. Salaries were under budget as a result of a number of vacancies within the district, which have since been filled. Materials and supplies, which typically start the year slow and see most of their expenditures in the second half of the year as needs are assessed and purchases were made. And water treatment costs, which were on target, as well as the internal cost allocation, which are payments made to the city for services received by the district. In the district's other operating funds, through the second quarter, about $616,000 was expended on capital projects, mainly for meter replacement automation program, the system condition assessment, as well as the joint facilities master plan projects, which are coordinated with the Santa Fe Irrigation District. A final payment on the district's remaining 2007 bond issue will be made in this current fiscal year, after which the district will be debt-free. And lastly, in the fleet replacement fund, the 3 replacement purchases have been initiated and will be completed once the vehicles, which are 2 trucks and a backhoe loader, have been received. Staff is requesting a number of adjustments with this mid-year report. 6 adjustments in the operating budget and 2 adjustments on the CIP budget are being requested. On the operating side, staff is requesting to reclass a program assistant position to a program coordinator position. The reclassification is necessary due to the additional duties and responsibilities that have been taken on by the program assistant, making the position consistent with the program coordinator classification. Annual cost of the reclass would be about $7,500, but because the reclass is being requested at mid-year and due to salary savings from the previously mentioned vacancies, staff is not requesting any additional appropriations. If approved, the position would then be budgeted at the full program coordinator level beginning in fiscal year 25-26, and even with the reclassification, the number of district positions remains unchanged. Staff is also requesting to move 100,000 CIP appropriations from Project 23E, which is the meter replacement and automation. These funds were inadvertently moved over to the CIP budget, but 100,000 needs to be moved back to the operating budget to cover ongoing maintenance and inventory purchases required on the operations side. A third adjustment is an increase in appropriations to pay for the city's fleet division for the services that they provide to the district. Another $5,000 increase in appropriations is also being requested to pay for additional health inspections required by the County of San Diego on the recycled water program. Staff is also requesting an increase in appropriations of about $80,000 to the recycled water purchases. As previously mentioned, there was hardly any rain over the summer through December, which resulted in an increase in the demand for recycled water. Staff also expects the fiscal year 26 budget for recycled water to be higher, as the San Elijo Joint Powers Authority has proposed a rate increase of between 12 to 14%. But the SEDGPA staff has been tasked to go back and review those numbers, but we do expect that to be a little bit higher next year. Internal cost allocation costs, staff is requesting a reduction in appropriations in that. That item was slightly over budgeted, but the city came back and informed us that to reduce that by about $20,000 so that it stays in line with the revenues that they'll be receiving from the district. On the CIP side, the district has completed 2 projects, the first one being the water rate study, which was completed in April of 2024 and resulted in rates for FY 25, 26, and 27. We had some savings in that project, and so we're requesting to return those funds to the fund balance. Another project also completed was the Encinitas valve replacement, which replaced 67 valves throughout the city. And that was also completed with some savings that we're requesting to return to fund balance. Lastly, I'd like to mention a little bit about the district's projected net position. The projected position is the amount that the district estimates it will have in liquid assets to fund its various reserves and immediate needs in a perfect scenario where everything occurs as budgeted. The district projects to finish the year with close to $13.2 million in available net position, but a final number will be determined once the year closes, all invoices are paid, and the books have been audited. That concludes my presentation, and the recommendation is for the board to approve the budget adjustments requested by staff by adopting Resolution 2025-03.
Are there any preliminary questions? No? And I assume I didn't see anybody go up there, so no public comments. And any deliberation or comments? I can hop in there. Thank you. Very, very well done. Very complete. Look at the adjustments, and I go on half a year of $22 million spent, and we're sub 1% in any adjustments, and some of those are completed projects, which is great. So I think it's a very good report, very positive report, and appreciate all the time and work. And the other thing I love you noting on there, zero debt. $0 on debt. Yeah. How many capital-intensive systems, water systems, run with paying off all their bonds? So, congratulations. I mean, I think that's phenomenal. Anybody else?
Yeah,
Board Member O'Hara.
I'm always impressed by how conscientious they are with their budget at all of our water districts. It's amazing. I had a couple quick questions just on clarification of the report itself. There was on page, what is this, page 3, there's a paragraph, I wasn't sure if you were saying they offset each other. It's the engineering fees trending below the projection of 41.6% and capacity fees, which are revenue side, the amount of developing occurring with the district, and the projection of 58.5% due to more development being pulled. Are we saying the two offset each other? That paragraph was a little confusing to me as to why it was there, why they were paired. If you could just explain that to me.
The engineering fees and the capacity fees, those are tied to projection, but they do not offset each other.
Okay.
The capacity fees are collected when someone is buying into the system, because they can't just build a house and be connected to the water system without paying into it. Whereas the engineering fees are development that is going through the city process, have pulled permits for those, and then if there is some water required for whatever project they're working on, then that would also flow through the district for review.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you. I appreciate the explanation. On the adjusted requested, I have to find my note here. Shifting the funds of the $80,000. That's just taking funds from one place to another. And as I understood it reading this, and please correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm assuming this is why they were reported this way as well, but the water rate cost study that was canceled, as well as the valve replacement project that was canceled, helped fund that, as well as I think there's a $20,000 line on there as well. But I felt like I was missing another number in there somewhere to get to that $80,000, or were they just on the same page and mentioned in the same, because they both deserve to be mentioned? The
Yes.
math works on the sheet. I'm trying to make sure I fully understand it.
Yeah, the 80,000 is an additional appropriation. The projects were not canceled, they were completed with leftover monies.
Okay.
So we're taking the leftover money and putting back into the CIP fund balance,
Completed under the budget.
under budget.
Under budget,
correct.
yes. That's great. I appreciate it. I love the thoroughness of the report. Yeah, and as always, the Water Board is always, the work you do is so impressive. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll entertain the recommended action is adopt resolution number 2025-3, titled "A Resolution of the Board of Directors of the San Diego Water District amending the fiscal year 2024-25 budget." In attachment 1, I'll
And excuse me,
entertain a
and
motion.
approving the recommended budget adjustments.
Yeah, well, that's what I was just reading the recommended. So, but we would move approval of that resolution. I'll make the motion.
I'll second, yeah.
Okay, I'll make the motion, and Board Member Schaefer, second. So with that, no other, call the question.
Motion does carry unanimously with President Lines absent.
Okay, and that was all our action items for the night. So no informational items. Do we have any board member reports pursuant to AB 1234? This would have to do with water board, I would assume, and not city council. We'll do the same thing, of course, at the city council meeting for any city
So our
council.
San Alejo JPA would be during the normal council meeting.
Yep, yeah. This would probably be anything you're doing for the,
It's actually both. The recycled water portion would be for the board, and the wastewater portion from San Alejo will be for the city council, if that makes any sense.
wait, say that again.
The recycled water portion, if there is any discussions regarding recycled water, it will be reported to the board. And if it's a wastewater, it will be reported to the city
Okay.
council.
Okay,
Okay.
well then, we both attended yesterday morning the San Alejo JPA, and as was mentioned, the kind of the crux of this is they're trying to recommend either 12 or 14% rate increase of recycled water for the next 4 years, from 25 to 29, with it being either 12 and 12 for consecutive years. What's that?
And that much.
And
They're
then-
doing the research on that as well.
Okay.
10, 10, 8, 8, or whatever.
Yeah, so they're going to be doing some research so they had a 12, 12, 6.5, and 6. They had a 14, 14, 5, and 5. And then we've asked them to research a 10, 10, 8, 8 option for those 4 years, just because it's pretty significant for a lot of people.
And this is on recycled water?
Correct.
Okay. Cool. Same? Okay, Jim attended also? Okay, and I did not have anything to report. So that would take us on to general information, staff status. General Manager, have anything to
Yeah.
report?
Thank you, President Ehlers. I have a couple of items, just quickly we'll go through them. In April, we will start 3 CIP projects. That's something that the board has approved in the past. Those projects will be across the city in several locations, and we will be including them in our newsletter for the San Diego Water District customers. In addition to that, we will have a link on the city newsletter website. In addition to that, we are expecting to get the RFP for the advanced metering infrastructure from 3 different vendors/contractors by April 4th. We're hopeful that we will be able to award that contract sometime in May, if not for sure by June. And one last thing had to do with the Water Smart Landscape Contest. This is for people who would like to showcase their water efficient landscaping, and that is something that they can submit to the district by May 9th. And then we will come to the board where you will be presenting them with prizes for the winners. That's it
And
for me.
that's for people in the San Diego Water District.
That is
not-
correct.
Not people served by a Levenheim Water District like
Yes, yes.
Marco and myself.
Okay.
When-
You can submit over there. I think they
Yeah.
have the same.
They do.
Yeah, exactly.
And are we broadcasting that contest on the city's social media? Do we know?
It was in the newsletter for last week, and it will be in the newsletter for San Diego Water District, and it's on our website, and we will have a link in each and every newsletter so that people will be aware of that.
Good.
Talking about the newsletter, I hope you also sign up for the newsletter so that you get our updates on a regular basis. Thank you.
Okay.
I might suggest during these meetings, there's 2 people here today, but over time, we have a graphic up there where people can sign up for these. And we're going to mention that to our communications department. If we could put that together, even if we have it out front, a QR code people could scan to join that list, I think it would be great to build that.
We can do that.
Okay, any other staff reports? I think we're good. And with that, we are adjourned at 37.
Photos.